You're watching the Auction Network.
Movie icons aren't the only superstars at this auction. Collectors are also singing the praises of legendary rock star Buddy Holly and Jerry Garcia.
And the Jerry Garcia personally owned and signed Steinberger electric guitar from the 1980s.
I was definitely a deadhead, and I definitely remember defying my parents back in the 60s, listening to the Grateful Dead concert on radio because I wasn't allowed to go.
Garcia was obviously, being from the acid test, that was his claim to fame, but he was quite a virtuoso on the guitar.
This is a Jerry Garcia Casio electric guitar, and he gave this to his chauffeur. And his chauffeur was named Leon Day, and Jerry owned this himself, and when he started giving lessons to his chauffeur, he gave him this guitar, and he actually inscribed his name in the back, and he jokingly told Mr. Day that one day this might be worth money. So now we're offering it, and we'll see if he's right.
Where should we start this one? How about $30,000 now for this? $30,000 we have, thank you, $30,000 and $32,500. Is it $32,500? $35,000 now. Is that $35,000? Do I see $37,500? Is that $35,000 only now? Is that $35,000? No advance? Last call and at $35,000. All done, all through at $35,000. And we'll pass that.
Buddy Holly was one of the originators of rock and roll.
These are all outfits that Buddy Holly owned himself, wore, and we have pictures of him wearing all these different pieces, which is really nice.
And we'll open the bidding on this one at $1,500. $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 now.
Look at these. These are classics. I would wear these today. Now these pieces are going to range between $2,000 and $20,000. Bargain.
It's at $1,700. 18 will be next. It's at $1,700 only. 1,800, thank you. 1,900 against you now. It's at 19. 2,000 will be next, Dana. It's at 1,900. 2,000, thank you. Anything but $2,250. If not, I'm selling the phone, but at $2,000 only.
One of the day's more valuable collections was from a 1966 Beatles album cover.
This is the artwork used to create the actual album cover. And what's important about this is this album was recalled because the cover was deemed too offensive in 1966.
85. 85 already now. We have bids to 8,500. Do I see 9 anywhere? 9,000, thank you. 95 against you. It's at 95 now. 10,000. 11,000, still going. Absentees at 11,000 now. It's 11,000, Margaret. 12 will be next. It's at 11,000. Absentee at 11,000. 12,000, thank you. You're the leader now at $12,000. On the phones at 12,000. And do I see 13 anywhere? If not, I'm selling to the phone bidder at $12,000.
Now, if you want to take a piece of movie history home with you, there's nothing like a vintage movie poster.
There's nothing like owning an original movie poster, a vintage poster. And the reason being that, again, you are a part of history.
Oh, I think if film buffs will definitely purchase. I think a non-film buff might be happy to have a poster that's from his or her favorite film.
I'm a private collector. I like the posters. You have to limit yourself or else you go nuts.
They're getting more and more scarce as time goes on. So those that have survived have become an art form in their own right. There are different types of posters. All of the posters at one point were original. Original being the first release of the poster when the movie first came out. Is your first release original? Those are your most valuable ones. Posters of an original vintage nature can go anywhere from $50, $60 to $600,000. Then we have what are called reproductions. Reproductions have nothing to do with having been shipped by the studios to the theaters originally. These are copies that are made for the non-collector. To the average eye, a person coming in your house will not know if you have a $100,000 original or a $50 reproduction. In trying to play investigator, whether or not a poster is original, you should really speak to a professional on it. However, one telltale, which is often a giveaway, if you think you have bought an old poster and it is rolled and not folded, it may be suspect to legitimacy. Difference in price? This is the original, about $1,500 on the average. This is the reproduction, about $35. Also valuable are your science fiction movies, most of which grew out of the 1950s era.
2335, Forbidden Planet. There you see it, and we'll open this lovely piece here at, shall we say, $5,000 for the planet.
The genre that is the leading one, the one that gets the biggest money, has been sci-fi, horror, and fantasy.
This could be one of the most expensive American sci-fi posters ever.
The Forbidden Planet is one of the most coveted sci-fi movie posters. The artwork is incredible.
This is one of those titles that collectors always are looking for because it's such a cult sci-fi film.
65, goes 7,000. 65 now to bid. Any advance on Forbidden Planet? Are we all out at 65? Yes or no? And past that at 6,500.
Alfred Hitchcock was the master of suspense, and we're just dying to know what some of his classic movie posters are going to go for today.
Now the Hitchcock film here, Rear Window, great poster here, and we have some interest in this one, and I think we're going to have to start this at, where should we start this one? 475, 370, 3750, 4,000 now, 4250, 4,500, 4750, he's at 4750, and 5 will be next. All the absentees at 4750 now, last call at 4750, and selling at 4750 to the highest bidder, and that's 7110.
It went higher than I imagined, but I just kept going. I actually planned to stop halfway through, but as usual happens in auctions, you get swept up in the excitement, and I went much higher than I thought I'd go. I don't regret that.
And how about you, sir? How do you feel?
I regret that he doesn't regret that.
Coming up next, we'll discover why Cary Grant, Clark Gable, and John Wayne hold such star power.
To register for future live auctions, go to auctionnetwork.com.